In this video, we're talking about another channel strip plugin, but it's one that you probably haven't ever used before, and it's called the MBSI, which is modeled after the MCI console, and it's by Metric Halo and Make Believe Studios. Again. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you don't know me, my name is David Sustaita, mix engineer, mastering engineer, video producer, all that good stuff. And if you've been here before, you might be wondering, why is he doing another Make Believe Studios Metric Halo plugin again? Well, a couple reasons for that. First of all, they're my friends. Second of all, they make really, really great tools, like this one is nonetheless. And it's launch day. Well, at least yesterday it was launch day. They release a bunch of cool stuff and it inspires me to actually make a video, which is rare. I have a lot of stuff that is in the pipeline for other videos, like the 3369, I'm gonna make a video on that. I have a bunch of other things that are like listed out, but when you do this stuff full time, it's hard to make a dang video because you're constantly working. But I'm trying for you guys. Also, if you can do me a really huge favor, like the video and subscribe. It really helps. The video helps the channel. Trying to break that 1,000 subscribers, get that 4,000 watch hours so I can get that YouTube money. But anything helps, so I appreciate y'all. But yeah, this plugin was inspired and modeled after the MCI console, which is most notably used on Hotel California. This is my first experience into the MCI world, and it's a really cool one. Rick and BJ ended up putting their own little sauce on there, and that's mostly what I'm going to be talking about, is the compressor in this plugin. I might touch on the EQ side a little bit. I think everybody else who makes a video about this plugin is going to do that, but I really want to focus on the compressor because it wasn't actually on the original console. It's kind of like the brainchild of Rick and BJ to add to it, to just be really creative with it, that's another reason why I wanted to make a video on this, is because they're taking something that exists. They have the classic version, they made a modern version to where they kind of took their own liberties to do and add some things that pay homage to, you know, the original thing, and them making this compressor in it was a really, really cool and nice flavor, and honestly it could be sold on its own. It's really, really sick. But that's mostly what I'm going to be talking about today, is that I'm going to be showcasing it on mix bus, I'm going to showcase it on vocals and drums, you know, the three holy grail ones that I usually show things on. And you'll hear the characteristic of how it sounds. If I had to describe it, to me, it's aggressively subtle and subtly aggressive, if that makes sense. It sounds like both smooth and aggressive at the same time when you dial it in particular ways. It's a really cool plugin, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it, and I'm gonna show you what this baby can do. Alrighty, so we are here in the session. This song is called Stay Together by the artist Clay Paya, or Selfish Vanity, one of my really good friends. This song at the time of filming is not released yet, but I'm gonna put the pre-save link either on the video somewhere in the description. It'll be there, you can pre-save it. Now, about the session, this is mixed, this is done, but caveat, you know, I have an analog mix bus chain, so I have that bypassed. I have that bypassed on my instrument bus and on my mix bus. And that's so I can show what MBSI is going to be doing as a compressor and, you know, really doing to hug everything and tie it together. So this is the plugin. I'm going to go ahead and make the GUI a little bit bigger. So a quick overview about everything is you have, this is kind of where it all starts. You have the M and the C. You have C for classic, and you can see that this changes and this changes, and you go to modern. On classic, there's less parameters on the EQ, and you have this expander gate thing. But when you go to modern, now you have pretty much three different compressors that you can choose from. And I'll go over that here in a second. So yeah, this is the section with the trim, and you have your line, your mic, and your overdriven mic pre sound. And based on what Rick said, with the console, apparently, whenever this is summed to the stereo outs, whenever it's on the line option, it's pretty much like high passed and low passed a little bit, so it gets a little lo-fi-ish sounding by default. So when you switch it to mic, apparently on the console there was transformers that added a little bit of a top end sheen that ended up counteracting that low pass that was going on. Of course, you have here the compression section, what this video is mostly going to be about, and then what other people are probably going to be focusing on mostly in their other videos is this section with the EQ, which is equally as awesome. So what I'm going to do to start is I actually made my own preset here. I don't have my preset in here because I was kind of late for the beta testers to throw them in there, but this preset is called Pump Me. And I do have a little bit of the EQ stuff going on here, so I'm gonna take those out so you can hear what's going on just with the compressor.
It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket, she started
nothing. I like where this is sitting in terms of how I have it dialed in here on the compressor. This will be a good time to talk about what is actually going on here in the compressor, right? So you have your threshold knob, which is a threshold knob. And this is where it gets kind of interesting because you have fast, medium, and slow. And this is your attack and release times. So whenever you switch fast, the attack is fixed. And when you go to the little question mark here, it'll tell you what the attack is. It's supposed to emulate the fastest setting of an 1176. The medium is supposed to be, the medium setting of an 1176. And then the slow is supposed to be kind of like more of a VCA style thing. And that's what I believe it, from what I've understood from Rick, that's supposed to be. And each one of those also affects this release encoder. So depending on which one, whether you're on fast, medium, slow, it'll change the range of the slow to the fast release here, depending on which one you have. On this particular preset that I had here, I have this on the slow. So it's doing more of the VCA thing. And I have it just kind of like right here in the middle. And then you have this depth control. The depth control is kind of like, it limits how much gain reduction you can get, right? So if you want the max gain reduction, you can have it all the way here. But let's say you go to, on the threshold, let's say you go to like -40, so you're crushing the heck out of it, right? On here, even though you're crushing the heck out of it there and it's going to be reacting to the threshold in that specific spot, the depth control is going to control how much gain reduction it's actually doing. So if I show you as an example here.
It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket, she started holding tighter, had my heart in her
So I'm compressing the whole time, but not doing very much.
As soon as I thought the words she said on it, baby.
There, it's crushing it, right? But that's the cool thing that I was talking about, how this is very like aggressively subtle and subtly aggressive, because that didn't destroy the mix at all. This is on the instrument bus right now.
It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket, she started holding tighter, had my heart in her locket.
That's completely maxed. You can see the little compressor things down here are just like, they're just on the whole time. But where you get the movement is when it does go on and off, which is why I like this pump me setting that I made, because it allows, it limits the depth kind of like in a medium place, like 9 dB of gain reduction is about where the max is allowing it to hit. And I have the threshold hitting in a way to where it's going to, kind of be driving it into that a little bit more. Like this.
It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket, she started holding tighter, had my heart in her locket. What's happening in my mind? 'Cause as soon as I thought the words she said on it, baby,
listen to what it's doing to the snare transients, to like just all the drum transients in general. It really just ties it together, but it doesn't get rid of the punch. I hate to say the whole analog thing, but it kind of does that analog thing. I literally don't know what else to call it.
It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket, she started holding tighter, had my heart in her locket. What's happening in my mind? 'Cause as soon as I thought the words she said on it, baby.
It just gets tight in a really nice way. Now, one thing to note when I did put that back on is I had, it's doing just a tiny bit of boosting here, like literally like 1.4 dB of boost on here. So if you're hearing a little top end lift, that's from this. But the character of the compressor here is really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and mess with the fast attack. You can get really, really nasty with this in a cool way.
It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket, she started holding tighter, had my heart in her locket. What's happening in my mind? 'Cause as soon as I thought the words she said on it, baby, I hope. It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket, she started holding tighter, had my heart in her locket. What's happening in my mind? 'Cause as soon as I thought the words she said on it, baby, I...
See, that's really cool. Like that's super aggressive. That's not subtle at all. But it's a really cool sound, and honestly, I wouldn't mind it, sounding like that. It sounds really musical. It never really sounds bad. It just might not be the right setting for the song. It might not be the right setting for the vibe or the mood, but it doesn't ever sound bad. Like it's not crapping in on itself. And it's just super cool because this is what Rick and BJ created. That's not even a part of the console, but the console inspired them to get creative and make something like this and it just works. It really does just work. So now I'm going to go ahead and show what this sounds like on vocals. To be transparent, we did track in with a healthy amount of compression, as you can see here on the lead vocal. And I do have some compression here on the chain. If you're looking at my chain and you're like, David, what the heck is wrong with you? Why you got so many dang plugins? Everything's there for a purpose. If you want to see a video on my vocal production and why I do the things that I do, I can make those. But that's not what this video is about. I say that to say that I have a compressor right here that I'm just going to get rid of. But we're going to go ahead and load up MBSI again, right here on the vocal. And the cool thing about this, the really cool thing about this is, for vocals, what I like doing with MBSI is stacking. So, we get 3 different compressors. So if you stack the fast and you stack the slow, you get a really cool sound. So check this out.
It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket. She started pulling tighter, had my heart in her locket. Must have been reading my mind, cause as soon as I thought the words, she said, honest, baby, I hope. It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket. She started pulling tighter, had my heart in her locket. Must have been reading my mind, cause as soon as I thought the words, she said, honest, baby, I hope. It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket. She started pulling tighter, had my heart in her locket. Must have been reading my mind, cause as soon as I thought the words, she said, honest, baby, I hope.
Like right there is cool because you get like a nice push and pull. You can dime this if you want to all the way, but what I like is you dime it and then you back it off, not because it's crushing it when it dimes it, but because you kind of want it to breathe a little bit more. And when you dime it, it glues and it hugs it and it gels and it's really good. But when you back off, that's when you get that breath and it really starts to come alive. So if I have this here, let's load another MBSI, and this is what I'm talking about with the stacking here. So right now, no compression on the second one. It's just the first one. I'm going to dial it in.
It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket. She started pulling tighter, had my heart in her locket. Must have been reading my mind, cause as soon as I thought the words, she said, honest, baby, I hope. It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket. She started pulling tighter, had my heart in her locket. Must have been reading my mind, cause as soon as I thought the words, she said, honest, baby, I hope. It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket. She started pulling tighter, had my heart in her locket. Must have been reading my mind, cause as soon as I thought the words, she said, honest, baby, I hope. It was Saturday night, I put my hands in her pocket. She started pulling tighter, had my heart in her locket. Must have been reading my mind, cause as soon as I thought the words.
Like that's just insanely musical. This is almost kind of like the equivalent of doing like the 1176 LA2A thing, but instead of it being an LA2A, you're doing kind of like a VCA style, the slow attack. But I do want that fast release. But yeah, this compressor is really sick on vocals. I really enjoy what it's doing there. Last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and go to drums and show what this is doing overall. Because of how this particular session is routed, I'm gonna be doing this on the instrument bus, but it's only affecting the drums, so you can hear kind of like how everything is going. That's sick. Out. And like, if that's too much for you, this is what's cool about what Metric Halo and Make Believe are doing is you can have your A, and now if I go to B, I can go ahead and choose any preset, but I'm going to choose factory default, and you go to the blend. So A is the pump me setting, B is factory default, you go to blend, you can blend how much you want of A or how much you want of B or whatever, right? So if we're right here in the middle, let's say I want a little bit more of A, and I can just blend this in. So this is all the way. Put a little bit of B. Like, that's just so awesome. This is just what I would do with this plugin and what I like gravitate towards. And I really like compression. It's really awesome. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, what you're hearing, the vibe, everything, please give this video a like and subscribe. Continue trying to grow, as I said before, you know, trying to get that YouTube shmoney. So if y'all can help me with that and being able to do something sick here, I would really appreciate that. Ha! Distortion. Slam. There's just like, you can hear the THD in that, and it's so cool. Like, that's not transparent at all, but you don't want it to be. This is, sounds analog. It just does, like, it really does. See, this depth knob is sick because now I'm limiting it to only do this much here, but the threshold is just, I have it so low that it's constantly doing it. See, this allows you to maintain that pump with the tempo. Out. Now I'm gonna blend this with my preset. Pump me. That's just so cool. Anyway, that's a little bit about MBSI and the compression section of it. Again, this is how I would use it. It's not like a full comprehensive overview of this plugin. It's just, you know, what I gravitate to, what I would like to use it for, and hopefully you guys got something out of it. Right now it's on sale, I think, for 99 bucks. I don't know what the main price is gonna be, but I mean, the compression section alone is worth that, in my opinion. And if you go and demo it and check out the EQ is money. So thank you guys for checking out this video, watching it. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.